let's just get right into it, okay? You know, there's certain subjects that you just don't talk about. But today, I want to spend 2 or 3 minutes talking about one of those subjects that, especially like publicly on Facebook, you know, it's not talked about, and that is gut issues. And I'm dealing with a major gut issue now. I'm going to the doctor, but right before Thanksgiving, gonna have a colonoscopy. I want to really figure out what in the hell is going on with my gut. I think I know, but I want to know for sure. But one of the things that causes a lot of people gut issues is antibiotics, the overuse of antibiotics. And I'm just going to use myself as the perfect example of that. Back even before the pandemic, but during the pandemic, after we got our pup, there was about a 5-year time period there that I was really having major sinus issues. So every time I turned around, I'd be headed to one of these ER clinics on the corner, which they're good, but I would head to one of these clinics. They would give me a Z-Pack, a steroid shot, and then every single time I would get a round of antibiotics. And I'm not talking about just 1 or 2 times. I went multiple times during that 5 or 6 year period. Also during that time period, we got Gracie. And when Gracie was a puppy, I mean, she was amazing, just like she is now, but we were playing before I went to work, and this is when I was going to St. Louis a couple of times a week. We were playing, and she just barely nipped right here, just barely nipped it. Bled a little bit, I didn't think anything about it. Well, when I got to St. Louis, I felt like hell. I didn't feel very good at all. And this was like right at the start of the pandemic, and I was like, oh man, I might have that. And I barely got any sleep that night, but on the trip home, I literally had to stop 5 different times because I was so freaking tired. I would take a 20, 30-minute nap. Well, as soon as I got home, I went to one of these little emergency clinics, and like everybody in there had the C word, and so they checked me out. I didn't have it. But then we looked at my arm where the dog, I just mentioned it, and there was a red mark from right in here all the way up to my elbow. And it was like a major infection. So what they do, I got an IV antibiotic. So the bottom line is, when you have a sinus infection, most sinus infections, a vast majority of sinus infections, are not bacterial, they're viral. And an antibiotic does absolutely nothing for a viral sinus infection, except it rips all the gut bacteria, the good, the bad, all of it out. So what does that do? That eventually is going to cause you to have IBS, all kinds of issues that are very challenging to deal with and to correct. So my advice is, when you go to the doctor with a sinus infection, and hey, we live in the South. Sinus infections are really common here. But I would really question the use of an antibiotic with a sinus infection, because I'm going to tell you now, it's going to do a lot more harm than it does good. So hopefully this just helps one all I want to do is just help somebody. That's all I come on Facebook to do, either lift you up or help you out. So that's my little story today. I'm going to go to the end of the month, and we're going to figure out how in the hell we're going to fix this situation, because quite honestly, it can get to the point where it's life altering and debilitating, and that's where my gut situation is. I deal with it every single day. You know, thank God I'm just, you can see it right back here in the background. I just left Hot Works, you know, had a wonderful bar workout and a sauna, and I feel really good. Like, I feel incredible, but, and that has been kind of like a godsend to me. But just be careful with the overuse of antibiotics. Yes, they save lives, but man, they can do a lot of damn harm if you're not careful. Have a great day.